And on this very, very cold morning, which is literally freezing, we're going to be installing this amplifier Eonon have kindly sent us. It's a DSP amplifier box. It's model number A303. Let's have a look and see what we've got in the box. We're Mark and V. Come with us. Let's adventure together. Okay, so let's open up the box and have a look inside. So first of all, we've got the actual amplifier. And you can see we have a connection on either end, volume control, and a fuse. The unit looks really well made and quite premium in fact. Not sure quite how we're going to fit it into the actual car yet, but we will find out. Also in the box we have a remote control, no batteries though, a harness, and an infrared receiver so we can control the volume on the amplifier. There's also a little sticky tab there as well. And lastly, there's a little instruction manual to show you how to do the install. And there are very clear instructions on how to connect the harness to the radio and the amplifier. So let's bring the head unit over and see how the harness connects on the bench. We have the loom to the stereo. It connects to the front of the unit, and I consider the front of the unit to be the end with the volume dial. Then we're going to connect the harness, the original harness, to the other end of the unit. So basically we're just adding the amplifier in line from the main harness to the actual head unit. It's quite simple. Let me show you while we're here. You just connect it like that. We've removed the original loom from the head unit and you have that free connector now. Now what we do is we take the loom and connect into there. So the front of the amplifier goes into the head unit, then the rear of the amplifier connects back to the loom. You can sort of see how it all connects there. Then the end of the new loom goes back into the head unit. Now I'm looking at the instructions and it says that the side with the Eonon wording needs to be facing up. Now I think that's because it's a bit of a cooling plate. So you're going to want as much airflow as possible and you don't want it to touch things. Now when I looked at the dash I thought there's not a lot of space, is there? But actually there is, because the head unit, the Android head unit, is actually quite small and flat, so it leaves a lot of space in behind. There's a flat plate just there. Now my idea is I'm going to use some heavy duty Velcro and have it mounted right smack bang in the middle like that. So there's going to be a cooling area and it's going to be pretty clear of everything. And we should be able to connect to all the cabling with no issues. Hopefully that's a good idea. We'll soon find out, won't we? So I've got myself some Velcro, and that plate is obviously a little bit dirty, so I want to wipe it off with something. Now I've got this little alcohol wipe that I'm going to use to clean it, and hopefully that's going to give it the best chance to stick onto it. And we'll put it in there and then we'll start connecting things up. What I'm going to do is place the two pieces of Velcro together and position them where I'm hoping the box will be, and I'll fix it down. Then I'll peel the backing off the second one and I'm going to lower the box onto it, and I think that way we'll get it in exactly where we want it. I am concerned it's going to be a little bit difficult to get the leads in place, but we'll see. I think I'm also going to put two tie wraps around the unit as well, just to hold it in place. And I know they said to leave that face facing up for cooling, but I think two tie wraps won't hurt it too much. It feels fairly secure with just the Velcro, but I do feel that having the tie wraps will just give it that bit more security and a bit of peace of mind as well. So you can see there I've added the 2 tie wraps, and I think that's going to be very solid in there now. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that moving around, but I will trim the tie wraps before we put it all back together. So here we have all the cables connected. This is the bit I really hate though. It looks a mess, but it will get better. So the amplifier is now in place, and it's all tie wrapped in. We've got the output going down to the head unit, and if you look very carefully you can see the input from the wiring loom going into the amplifier. It's a bit difficult, but you can just about see it. Then you can see the infrared receiver connection, which is just beside the volume control on the amplifier, just in behind there. And that actually goes through and hangs down there at the moment. I'm going to tidy it up a little bit later, but for the minute it'll just hang. So the next thing is to put it all back together. And then we'll get some music from Epidemic Sound, so you can hear what it sounds like. Not that you've heard it before, but I do have some footage from when I installed this stereo into my VW Chiran a little while back, so you'll be able to hear some music from that. Hopefully that will give you an idea of the improvement over the stereo. Anyway, the amp's installed. It was a little bit tricky, but it wasn't undoable, and take your time and you're going to get there. Yes, it was a little bit fiddly, but I think I'm happy with the way I've done it, and let me know down below if you think you could do it differently. I've got the head unit all back together in the car, and the next thing to do will be to test some music. As you can see, the infrared receiver is there, just hanging. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it yet. I'll probably move it to the center, but for the minute it'll be good there. I'm not entirely sure I want it anywhere there, but that should be good enough. Got to get some batteries for the remote, and once I've done that we'll see how it goes. So this is the amplifier all installed now, and sadly it's absolutely hammering down with rain outside, so hopefully that's not going to take away some of the sound that you're going to be listening to now, but you can hear the quality in the car in a normal sort of scenario. What I've done is I've actually I've actually laid the microphone on the gear stick, well, not on the gear stick, behind the gear stick, on the soft material that sort of shrouds it. So I'll show you that anyway. And to give you as fair a balanced sound as I can, this is pretty much how I did it in the VW Chiran as well. So you're going to see some comparisons with the VW Chiran on the sound, and that would be without the amplifier, but it would be with a different audio system speaker wise. But it's hard. It's really, really hard to give you a sound. I personally think it sounds better. You're gonna have to make your own minds up. It's a cheap amplifier. Really isn't going to cost you a lot of money at all. So you have a listen, see what you think. So here we go. And this is on flat.
You have a way.
Nice bit of bass in there as well. Nice vocals.
When you walk in the room, my heart skips a beat. And who said?
So now what I'll do is I'll go through the different EQ sounds. Classic.
I stumble over all and on to say to you. Pop.
Pop.
You make me so nervous. Yes, it's true. You make me so nervous. Yes, it's true.
Rock. Rock.
You make me so nervous. Yes, it's true.
Let's have a listen to how it sounded in the Sharan without the amplifier.
When you walk in the room,
And now back to the Beetle with the amplifier.
That's what you do.
Jazz.
Vocal.
Vocal.
I get your gaze. I feel weak in my
Custom.
I try
Not quite sure what that says.
but I feel you deep inside of me.
Flat.
We're back to flat.
To find you in my dream.
So there you are. That's the sounds, and I'm going to give you a few different music types as well, so you can listen to that as well and make up your own opinion. Hopefully, it's a nice rounded idea of what it sounds like. Relatively easy to install. You saw the install. Really nice system, and you know, for the money, I don't think you can go wrong. However, I do think it would benefit from having a sub, just to give it that extra bit of oomph. Because you've got to remember, I'm on standard speakers in this car at the moment. We have door speakers. Yeah, we have door speakers. Little tweeters up in the window there, and little tiny speakers in the back. I mean, they are tiny, but I will show you them. That gives you a little bit of an idea of what it sounds like. Now, obviously that was a sort of like a very sort of like indie sort of sounding track. So I'm going to try and find now a bit of a pop track, which I didn't use before, so you can hear a difference, and a bit of classical music. So just bear with me while I find them. I thought we'd do some acoustic as well while I was thinking about it, so just have a little bit of acoustic. It's very, very clear, very clear. Hopefully it comes out as good on the camera, on the microphone, as it does when I'm listening to it. We'll just try and find a bit of classical music now. A bit of cinematic, so we have a bit of cinematic. Probably go a bit louder on that, can we? I think we could definitely do with a sub in this vehicle now. The bass would come out even more. So here we are, we've got a bit of classic music. And then finally, I think we'll find a little bit of pop music. And we'll go through the sounds again. That gives good indication of the bass there as well, doesn't it? Well, it's not drum and bass, obviously. Maybe we'll find a little bit of that just for you drum and bass freaks.
Jazz. Vocal. Custom. Flat.
We'll leave it at flat. And the very last one we're going to try is we're going to try a bit of drum and bass, just so you're going to hear the limitations now, I'd imagine. So let's try it. I don't know the track. I'm just going to pick one. So there you are. That's the Eonon amplifier that goes with the Eonon head units. Kindly sent to me by them, and a bit fiddly to install, but fiddly because obviously it's going to be tight in behind to install it, but you do gain all that extra space. I mean, look at the original stereo down there, you know, all that backspace. So it's not undoable. You just have to think about how you're doing it and just be a bit logical when you're thinking. Sound, yes, I think it's definitely improved the sound on the unit. I think the next thing to do really would be to add a sub and some better speakers in the Beetle. But yeah, very good. It's a cheap answer to a little bit of boosted sound on your system. I think they're retail for about £39 and not very much at all. So if you want one, I'll put a link in down below. But it leaves me to say thanks for watching this video, guys, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it really helps the channel with the algorithm. Anyway, look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon. Look after yourselves. Bye.